Hi guys, FrostFangs here, welcome back once again, of course, to another Paladins video. We're playing some Term today for the first time in what feels like forever. We're going to be doing Turbo Tank Term, to be specific. I said I have covered before, but not in ages. There's a bunch of reasons why I've gone back to running this setup from what was the normal one for quite a while. This still works really well, and occasionally I will go for it. I think if I'm in like a siege or something, I'm going to be the less likely to go for this because this works better if you're really rushing people down in like an onslaught or something. But overall, I don't really grab him that much in siege just because of the maps and the teams and the fact that solo queuing, you don't really have any coordination or anything, and it can be a little bit rough. Whereas King of the Hill Onslaught, he's a very safe pick, and most of the time you're going to do fine even if your team is doing their own thing. Just thought I'd mention it even though the setups would still be the same. I've covered the Q1 before. If you want to see me do that, I've done that already a bunch on the channel. Same thing with the F, which I think was actually the last video, and this one is the newish setup, which is just an old version that I've sort of brought back. And yeah, it does play quite a bit different because you're not really emptying your stacks unless you really need the burst. Most of the time you're going to keep them for the damage reduction and the speed. You're generating your Q with your axe instead of the right click or the F. Pretty straightforward stuff. I think I'm going to leave the intro there, just jump straight into a game one. He is very team dependent and map dependent, like I said, more so than I think pretty much every other character, to be honest. He does struggle really quite heavily in certain situations, whereas in others he can be a really big pain, and because of that you might want to lean in one direction or the other with the setups. You actually have three viable options. Crush, Decimation, Undying are all fine, and the same goes for the builds. You're going to grab what makes sense for the situation and run it like that. I'd say overall Term, if I were to talk about the absolute state of him, he's in a pretty good position, to be honest. I really do like this skin combo as well. Skin wise, he's got a really good selection. Obviously, as with most characters, some of his cards are just unused and kind of crappy, but he's in a pretty damn solid spot right where you'd hope he would be as a melee character, not too far down the line, and also not OP. Of course, that's just my opinion though. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. I'll switch up the skin and everything for the same game, but we've got Genos, Victor, Evie, and Betty, and then we're up against a 7 of the Anatas, a Ceres, and a Torvod. We're on Trade District, King of the Hill. Not the best map ever for Term for the talent. If we're going for the speed, damage reduction, setup, decimation, you don't really want to grab because you're very rarely emptying your right click unless you want the burst. You're going to fill it back up again, so that doesn't make sense. It does if you're going for the other one though, of course. Crush is probably the safest option here. Undying's also fine, but I feel like with this setup you don't really need it as much, especially if you've got a healer. Bit of a weird format for that sentence. Term overall without a healer is kind of tough to play, but we'll go for Double Nimble to start. We've got Luminary, we've got Cardio, Fiery, and Wormhole. Then Thanks Grandpa, Agony, Eminence, Spring Loaded, and whatever the Talus grabs. Pretty standard looking onslaught, although hopefully the spam with 7 here isn't too bad because that could kind of suck. Don't actually know how the interaction works with Term and his bombs, but I'm pretty sure we're just going to be able to absorb them. We are already on 3 stacks. I'm not going to empty them here. I'm just going to stack it up to 4 and then just hold the point. We could go for an F here because I'm not really worried about getting knocked off. We can play sort of aggressively. I'm trying to use the Q with that stun from Ceres. It wasn't really something I was expecting. How am I not dead here? How the hell am I still up? I'm wanting to play aggressively, but we've already got the Genos for the heals, which makes it kind of tough. Stun on the Ceres. Where's the Q again? You do really want to be playing close with this because the only way you gen your meter is with the hits, so you kind of want to rush a tank if you can. I think I might be screwed here. I'm going to try and wiggle back, but he's coming in to give me a hand. There's a slash. Just didn't hit. I'm dead. We can't really slash the 7 because he's going to be moving around like a madman. Leon's also playing pretty far back. Picked up some resilience I forgot to earlier on, but I really am going to need it for that Ceres because she's going to stun and completely screw over what we're trying to do. Pretty speedy as soon as we hit like 2 or 3, and then the damage reduction also really does stack up. Even with just a Genos here for heals, we are pretty damn beefy. 7 works weirdly as like a free form of absorption, which isn't really what I was expecting. There's the Q. How am I holding them off here on my own? That's a fear. Didn't even know he was in the ultimate there. How am I not dead? I'm trying to pop the Q. I don't even have enough meter. Betty with the kill. That F nearly sent me off the map. Okay, I'm just literally keeping all my stacks and running around being annoying. Yeah, you're not really playing for damage with this, although you can have a really good damage number if you're up against like 2 tanks with healers and stuff, and people you can easily slash at while you're full stacks. If you're playing on like an onslaught or something with a more closed map than this, but I'd say that even then you're more so focusing on just absorbing damage and getting in the enemy's face and just being a pain while your team does some work. That Ceres is lagging like a mad. Am I dead? We do have the ultimate, so if we do get cleared here, that's fine. There's a stun, there's a kill, there's the Q. Crush also just reinforces that with like the CC or whatever. You know, force die here, get some resilience while we pop the ult. We've max CC reduction now though, and you really can duel at the tanks with this. I think that's probably the best showcase for it, is we can do a one-on-one here with Torvod and just absolutely go through him because we've got so much damage reduction and just everything. 7 there with the ult, but we got insta out of it because of the resilience. Obviously, absorb a crap ton. We'll go for the F here. I am playing very aggro, but I'm trying to get rid of the Ceres. There we go. Emptied the stacks. That's the best situation for it if you're going for this talent. There goes the Leanne as well, and the 7. Very weird play from them. We'll grab more Haven. I suppose Nimble and Haven are the basic start with this, and then Veteran is also really nice on Term. You just want to be a tank, being a pain. It's really pretty self-explanatory. We'll pull up the Q, try and block a bunch of stuff. Well, they're not really pushing very hard here. We'll go for the F. That actually didn't work because I got cancelled out of it. That's fine. Back to the point. Team push to the left. Okay, there's the Q again. Talos with the ult. There's a stun. We did actually hit the Ceres. She's out. That was very, very punishing for her, like slightly pushing forward there. We're on 60 health. I'm just delaying my inevitable death here. Although apparently I'm still up. There's the Q. How am I still alive? I feel like I should have died like 3 times now. Okay, finally. I've definitely said this about other term videos or in other term videos. I really don't like the ultimate. That's the only part about term's kit that I don't really like very much. I never really mesh with revive mechanics in games like this, but with term specifically, it just feels kind of clunky and I don't really like it. There's the F, stun. Did actually hit 2 of them, trying to finish off the 7. Got a little bit greedy there. Leanne's gone though. There's the Q. Trying to absorb from both directions here, getting kind of clapped. Generals has actually been doing a surprisingly good job on heals. There we go, Torvald's gone. Stun on the Ceres. She should be out. Well done, Victor. We're doubling them. I think just because they've been less organized, we've had more time to like fully heal up from like the General's heals. There's a stun. There's a slash. There's one more, but I'm a little bit far away. Even we're freaking nimble through. I'm a little bit too slow. We do have the ult. Game's coming to an end. We might as well try and pop it. Never mind. There's the victory. And yeah, there we go. There are the stats for game 1. Like I said, you're not really going to see any impressive stats with this most of the time unless you're really playing the front against multiple tanks where you can slash away a ton, just because we're really, tanking more than anything else. Similar to a lot of the CC setups or the other tanky setups I've shown off before, damage really isn't the focus, but objective time will actually look pretty good a lot of the time. Eevee did fine, their Generals did a fantastic job, surprisingly. Betty did pretty good. For their side, it was a little bit all over the place, but 7 did do a pretty damn good job there on damage, and Sebas was also pretty annoying with the CC. We'll just re-queue, jump into a game 2, keep it going. So let's switch up the skin. I suppose the best way to describe this playstyle, like I tried to say at the start, is like a turbo tank. You're playing slightly reserved. You don't want to overextend, but you want to be right at the front. You can tank a crazy amount of damage. You've got your Q for immunity, and especially with the new Cauterize, it does give you a nice chance to get some healing in. We're on Onslaught Primal Court, and then for their side of 7, a Betty and a Zon, a Grover and a Grog. I think there's a couple people in this one that I played with before. A matchup against a Zon here might be kind of tough. We'll see. Going to go for the exact same thing I went for in game 1 and stick to Crush. The game took so long to load though that I thought I just had the lobby bug, but apparently not. We've got Spring Loaded, Rampant Blooming Fiery Chain, then Spring Loaded again, Deep Roots, which kind of screws us over, Maelstrom, which will also be a pretty big pain, and then whatever Azon and Betty grabs. I'm going to be hearing a lot of freaking ticks from the 7 mines in this one, so brace yourself. I'll probably turn the in-game volume down a bit in post, but we'll go for Double Nimble again. Controlled Fury should actually help us out a little bit because it will make it easier for us to stack stuff. And then Azon still hasn't grabbed anything. There is the Q. I think he might have been the one that didn't load in. Yeah, he definitely was. There's an insta-stun which didn't land. Jesus Christ, the amount of effect mess happening right now. Right click. There goes the Grok. 7 just absolutely shredding. I'm going to stop the 7 from getting into spawn. A bit of a bully there, but that's a easy team wipe. Let's get rid of him here. I do have just a free amount of damage on him, to be honest. Not really getting challenged very much. Grover's doing a pretty solid job with heals. We'll go for the F. There's a stun. There's a slash. There's the Q. I think I'm dead. I was hoping Grover would ult, but obviously he doesn't have it yet. For some reason, I thought overextending there would have been the play. We'll finish off and then we'll get a little bit of Haven. Got some slashes on the Azon. I think he has reconnected. There's Grover with the ult. But this is a way better example of what it's like to get the regen for your stacks or your meter. I mean, just because we can actually get slashes on the Azon here sort of for free, and we can also absorb a ton with just Betty blasting everywhere and 7's mines and stuff. We can just do that to block it. Slash away hit at the Azon. I'm pretty sure he's a bot, but I honestly couldn't say for sure. I feel like he might be here and he's maybe intermittently connecting. I don't know. The amount of just explosions and mess going on here is kind of crazy. We'll go for the F. It's a stun on the Grover. I was going to go for the right click there. Maybe I'll go for the ult. Could be a solid play. I guess we can pop it and see if we get somebody. That might actually get me some in. Nope, he ghost walked on me. How rude. I do have all the stacks, but I'm going to keep them just so we get the speed. It was just about empty on the Grok who was ulting, but didn't even need to. 4 stacks is just crazy quick. We really can just rush people down. There's the right click. There we go. Free kill on the Grover. That's sort of the ideal situation to empty it, as if you need a little bit of extra range and the speed isn't cutting it. Pushing in. There's the Q. Alright, I can't even see what's going on half the goddamn time. Betty's ulting me. I think what is happening. There's a right click. Pull up the Q again just to try and block this Grok a little bit. Slash wasn't in range. Stun was though. There's a slash. Never mind. There's the Q. Another thing with this setup that I want to mention, because it's something I forgot to do actually in the first game, is that you can actually charge your meter with it watches on things that aren't enemies. Like you can actually do it on like turrets and stuff, as far as I remember, which is something you can't do with a right click anymore, because I think you used to be able to do it on Ying decoys and barrack turrets and stuff, and then they essentially bug fixed or nerfed it by removing that, but you can still do it with the slash. So yeah, worth noting. Couple hits there on the Betty. Gonna push up and go for like an ult play, I think. More hits on the Grover. There's the Q. He's going for the ult. We'll just pull that up. Okay, there's the F for the stun. Right click, a couple little charges. I'm just delaying my death here, but I'm keeping them off the points. It's sort of working. Put the Q again, just 3 stacks from the Betty. There we go. Way better situation for it than the first game for sure. I've got the ult up, so I'm just going to go and pop it. It's a little bit obvious you want to usually bait it a little bit more than that. Killed the 7 still, though. The Zon's also not looking too good. He's definitely a bot, by the way, because he didn't even try and run away from that. Really kind of shitty bot programming there. We'll go for the F. That's a stun. Guaranteed kill here on the Grover. Should be able to just chase down the Grok here as well. So the Q a little bit more slashes on him. He's gone. There's the Q. You are so goddamn tanky and quick with the 4 stacks. She's trying to ult. There's an empty on her. That actually worked. And she, I think, detonated it because she died. I don't know exactly how that works. There is the Q. More slashes on him here, just generating that free 12%. Grok is on nothing. That F was super buggy. His F is probably the glitchiest part about him. To be honest, I feel like the rest of his kit's kind of fine. Went for full veteran. Why not? There's the Q to try and block that. I was a little bit slow with it, though. There's a stun. There's a slash on 2 of them. You do actually get the double trigger if you hit multiple people. 7 with the ult. For some reason I thought I still had resilience. That was last game. There's the Q. Okay, 400 health here. How am I not dead? Grover coming in for the heals. Betty trying to get rid of me here. There's the Q for the little block or 2. Stun right on her. Empty and a left click. Should have done that in the other order, but it still worked fine. The 1k burst from that is really, really nice if you've got them full, which you will have most of the time with this if you're using it, right? Go for the ult. I didn't really need to. Grok is running back in this way for his Ghost Walk. I thought he was just kind of baiting me there. There's a bunch of hits on him. We go for the stun. Somehow we're actually not winning this one. We're 25 points behind. I really thought we'd have this in the bag. What do I go for? Rejuvenate? I don't know. Resilience. Let's go resilience again. Really just dropped right into the middle of everything. Go for the insta stun. There's a slash. Really don't need to use it though on the 7 because he does have the CC immunity. Pop the F. Is that going to reach? Nope. Really close though. Betty going for the ult. That's not going to absorb. Did she just cancel it? It didn't look like it detonated. That was weird. I don't know exactly what just happened. We'll try and block, although Grover's already dead. Gonna try and secure the win here for the team. There's a stun. There's the Q. That was really close. Grover's going for the ult. Grok's going for the ult. I'm so goddamn bad with names when so much stuff's happening. Finished off resilience. Even with resilience 2 though, that 7 ult still felt pretty strong, to be honest. I feel like resilience could do with maybe a tiny buff, just a little one. There's some stacks. Okay, not really close enough to get 3 slashes. Azan's going for the ult, sort of pointing in a weird direction. That's a new bug. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Let's push the Betty. There's the Q. There's a slash. There's another one. There's the Q. I'm really just going to save the ult for the last possible second. Bunch of stacks. Slash meter again. Never mind. 7 went for the ult and got the Grover, I mean. There's the Q. I really can't see what's happening, especially with the blue filter. There's the F. Stun on the Grok. Slash again. Nope. Absorb the stuff. There's a right click. He's still alive on like 2 health. What is happening? Hello, Betty. Slash. Just trying to clear his on like nothing. I have to move my mouse so much goddamn more with the altered sensitivity that I use now. There's a double stun. Just 1. Slash on the Grok and the Grover. Really hyper pushing him here. We got full meter. Hello, Betty. You're pushing in. We're on 370 to 375. Betty's just dead, right? There we go. There's the Q. Seems like her Q actually stops when she dies. I don't know if that's intentional because I think her other stuff stays out, but for some reason it seems like that stops. There's the stun. Slashes on Grover, trying to block him. There's a little right click for him. And there we go. There is the victory. Really thought we were screwed there when we were like 25 behind around 300, but we pulled it back. I feel like that was a much better showcase for Terminus than the first game, but the first game was already really, really good. That was a much better situation for it though, and how appropriate we unlocked the title for him right there. That wasn't planned, honestly, whatsoever. And yeah, there you go. There are the stats for game 1. Way, way better than the first one. 13-6, 280 seconds on the point, 94k damage. Really happy with that. 7 did a great job. Grover did fantastic there too, so did the Betty. BK was playing kind of weird though. Didn't even know that he was in the game, to be honest, other than his Q occasionally for their side. 7 did great. The Betty did okay, although played kind of weird. Grok did solid though. Grover did fine, and Azan obviously was a bot. I think they would have had that if they had an Azan quite easily, but then BK kind of matched him, so it was surprisingly even. So yeah, don't really have anything else to add here at the end, so I'm just going to cut it here. Hope you have enjoyed today's video. This has been one of the more fun ones for me to record for sure. I'll see you guys all really, really soon. I appreciate you staying all the way till the end to let me know what you want to see me do next. His skins once again have left me sort of impressed. Whenever I make a term video, I'm like, damn, he has a pretty, really good selection. I wonder if he'll get another one sometime soon. But we'll see. I feel like one with like a candy cane weapon or something would look really quite nice, but he already has sort of a winter one, so I don't know. Anyway, yeah, thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay frosty.